The following program is produced by Edit Extreme. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and are not intended to replace professional advice. Find out more at editextreme.com.
Hi, I'm Ian, the producer of this program. And this is Bobby, the inspiration for it. I've had 15 different cats over the course of my life. And I've learned a lot about them over that time, but when I got Bobby, I realized there was still a lot of things I hadn't learned. I also wanted to share what I was learning with other people and connect with enthusiasts of felines. So I enlisted the help of my good friend, feline behavioral consultant, John Wiles, to help me to that end, and you'll meet John next.
15 years ago, something like that, I started doing my own pet business. So I set it up so it was basic pet care. By that I mean just the people would go away, I'd go in and look after their cats, dogs, ferrets, rabbits, what have you, and they didn't need any intervention medically or behaviorally. And during that time, I was also watching animal behavior, particularly feline behavior. And then about 11, 12 years ago, I took a formalized course, a scientific course on feline behavior. So that would work on the ABC principle, which is the antecedent of behavior. So you have the behavior, what happens before the behavior, and the consequence, and that's the payoff of the behavior. And so I work with that to take behavior and find out what is causing it and how we're going to go about correcting it. Most of the corrections are really environmental and changing the guardian's behavior on how they relate with their cats.
This, I think, the thing is that the behavioral changes that happen when cats are confined to an indoor environment as opposed to an outdoor environment, and how they react to that situation, especially if the owner doesn't try to meet their needs as far as territory and hunting.
Right. Now that we're bringing the cats indoors, mostly for their safety, really, they're not getting the enrichment. They're not being able to hunt, and they're not being able to meet all these friends. And all that needs to be reproduced in the home to keep the cat active. If you don't do that, you end up with a bored cat, and that's probably the best scenario, and they end up sleeping all the time, eating, gaining all this weight. Or you get a cat that's got a lot of problem behavior. They start ripping things apart, urinating in the house because they're frustrated, because the hunting is an innate thing they need to do.
I first met Bobby when I was arriving at the location for a TV shoot, and I was introducing myself to the owner of the home. And I noticed a beautiful mackerel tabby walking toward the door, so I crouched down and extended my hand, and he came up, smelled me, rubbed his cheeks against me, allowed me to pat him, and I was like, wow, what a great cat. And I could hear the homeowner from behind me going, yeah, you want him? And I was like, yeah, you want to give them up? You know, I was just surprised that such a friendly, outgoing, warm cat would be something that some people would want to rehome, you know? So in our next episode, John will show us how to introduce yourself to a cat for the first time.
Like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell. Don't miss an episode of Bobcat's Playground. Help us change the world, one cat at a time.
Bob demonstrates it here.
Bob?